Thanks, Prof. Kumar, and thank you to the Midlands Innovation Health for inviting me to this event. And the irony is not lost on me, actually. Sat in the Midlands, delivering a speech innovatively through Zoom, discussing a world health pandemic, something that you wouldn't ever dream of doing only a year ago. And it's fair to say the spotlight of the world is on health sciences. There is not a better time to capitalize on the health science debate, what's going on, and raise that spotlight and profile, not only here in the Midlands, but in the UK and across the world. And the UK on the research side has a fantastic story to tell here. If you think about the PPE that's been put in place and the innovative innovations going on there, the vaccines, obviously, the advent of things like treatments like dexamethasone, but also understanding the pathophysiology, we've only heard just about it again today, is so important. This is all being done here in the UK. And so when we speak about the future, I think it's really important that we do pick up, as Prof. Moss said, the legacy. What is the legacy of this virus? Because it has changed the way in which we work all across every walk of life. And that's what I think is really key. And the Midlands has a vital, pivotal role in driving that forward. And so I really welcome today's report because it's pulled together so many different groups and is a chance to showcase exactly what the Midlands has to offer. Why is that important? Well, there's a diverse, stable population that you can recruit from. There's the ability to robustly monitor and follow them up, and the equity of research and use a variety of sites to pull people together. But fundamentally turn that into some form of tangible reality. And that's really important. So I'd like to congratulate all on the call and all involved in doing that. Now, my background is actually as a GP. I trained at the University of Birmingham. And so it would be remiss of me to sit in a health speech and not use my approach. So if I take the Midlands Innovation Health and all the allied specialties, when you deal with a patient, you're taught to deal with the ideas, the concerns, and the expectations. And I think that's a really useful way of driving this forward as how we're going to take the Midlands into the next level as the years go on. I mean, the ideas we've heard already about it. We've got the long-term National Rehab Centre, not only about long COVID, but living with morbidity as life expectancy goes on is going to be a key thing of making a more productive workforce. And a way to be able to keep people working in better health for longer is going to be really important. We need to have the ideas about getting the bench to bedside. Life science manufacturing hub is a way forward for the Midlands. It already has a history steeped in manufacturing. There's no reason why it can't move into advanced manufacturing in the life sciences and joining the innovations that come from business along with the research that are done by the 7 big universities here. But there are clearly concerns. It's been mentioned several times, Sir John Pearce mentioned it here, that for too long, the Midlands has been hidden under the bush. And so the research can get overlooked and it may not be cutting through. We've got to remember that there are 33,000 people working in high-end jobs in this sector in the Midlands. And so we can punch our weight both nationally and internationally, engaging people from across the world to bring them in to continue driving the research and innovation forward. And what we don't want to happen is have opportunities missed. Post-Brexit, the UK is looking outward. How can we capitalize on that research and development and make sure that the UK is at the forefront and remains at the forefront? Government's priorities are to drive that forward. I see no reason why the Midlands can't be at the centre of that. And something that's been touched on here as well is joining up that collaborative working. And again, the Midlands can be at the centre of doing that. So that leads on to what will be the expectations. Well, I think that's the role. And from the scientists, the clinical workers, the entrepreneurs we have on here, the institutions, keep going, keep pushing that research forward, keep pushing the boundaries and communicate it to the likes of myself and leaders, local leaders and representatives, so we understand and we can take that message and shout from the rooftops about the fantastic work that's going on here. So we can spot those opportunities and promote just how good the Midlands really is. And that feeds back to government finally. Government needs to recognise the potential both nationally and internationally of what's going on right at the heart of the Midlands, how it can fit with the agenda that the government set, and then of course provide the funding to allow capital to be released and so that research grants can be applied for and got to help keep at the forefront and cutting edge. I think for me, stepping as a GP into politics, My health background taught me how to help those who can't and empower those who can. And yet the institutes in front of us, who we've heard from today, are doing exactly that. They're helping people who can't by empowering the scientists and the researchers to lead that way forward. And for me, this whole organization exemplifies that and the way it should move things forward. And I hope that gives a flavor of where I see things going in the future.